Classic rock and country music facts and trivia. Appreciate you guys being here. Today's video is on 10 of rock's greatest 70s to 80s reinventions. And we'll start with AC/DC. As soon as I can find it, right? Some bands reinvent themselves by choice. AC/DC did it out of sheer necessity. The Australian rockers were on the cusp of superstardom following the release of 1979's Highway to Hell, but their progress was nearly thwarted when lead singer Bon Scott died of alcohol poisoning in February of 1980. Undaunted, AC/DC quickly recruited ex-Gordy frontman Brian Johnson and struck back into the world-dominating Back in Black in July of 1980. Aerosmith. Aerosmith was dead in the water by the mid-'80s, hobbled by drug addiction, half-baked albums, and the departure of guitarist Joe Perry and Brad Whitford. Not even the 1985 reunion album, Done with Mirrors, would revive the flatlining fortunes. Everything changed the following year, and the Rockers recorded an updated version of Walk This Way with Run DMC that crossed genre lines and became a top 5 smash. Eager to capitalize on the momentum, Aerosmith got sober, teamed up with a team of top-notch songwriters for 1987's Permanent Vacation, where frothy pop rock anthems Dude Looks Like a Lady and Ragdoll and the Chrisley-powered ballad Angel tuned them into MTV darlings. Black Sabbath. The irony of Black Sabbath naming their classic lineup's final album, Never Say Die, was painfully obvious. Heavy metal pioneers have been on a drug-fueled downward spiral for years, and they gave lead singer Ozzy Osbourne the boot after bottoming out with their 1978 LP. They replaced him with ex-Rainbow and Elf singer Ronnie James Dio, whose operatic tenor and imaginative lyrics helped radically transform Black Sabbath's sound. A pair of Dio-fronted albums, 1980's Heaven and Hell and 1981 Mob Rules, still features plenty of thunderous, doom-laden riffs, but they were augmented by sprightly grooves and soaring, almost poppy choruses. David Bowie. Throughout his half-century career, David Bowie remained one of rock's greatest shapeshifters, and one of his most successful reinventions came in the early 80s from following the underperforming art rock excursion of 1980's Scary Monsters and the Super Creeps. Bowie teamed up with the producer Nile Rodgers and blues guitar wonderkin Stevie Ray Vaughan to make Let's Dance. Released in '83, the album found Bowie embracing the new wave and dance rock trends du jour to staggering commercial success. Heart entered the 1980s on a decent footing, with the 80s gold selling a bit strange, but they stumbled with the 1982's Private Audition and '83's Passion Works. The Rockers needed a course correction, and they found it in the form of outside songwriters and blustery ballads on their self-titled 1985 LP, buoyed by the chop charting alone in the top 10 What About Love. Journey. There were several key developments in Journey's evolution from noodly prog rockers to radio rock titans. The most crucial was the addition of lead singer Steve Perry, whose stratospheric vocals lent their songs a lighter, waving, anthemic quality beginning on 1978's Infinity. Journey kept refining their sound over the next few albums, and all the pieces clicked into place in 1981's Diamond, selling chart-topping Escape, an AOR high-water mark that yielded the smashes Who's Crying Now, Don't Stop Believin', and Open Arms. Judas Priest's modest 1974 debut, Rock-a-Rolla, exhibited a much different band, sonically and visually, than one that dominated the hard rock landscape in the early 80s. The British metal legends spent much of the preceding decade refining and restreaming their sound from bluesy hard rock to progressive metal to anthemic stadium metal. Their image evolved as well from bootleg hippiedom to the leather and stud uniform that became one of rock's most iconic looks. Kiss. From the dizzying heights of Alive and Destroyer to the dismal lows of Unmasked and Music from the Elder, Kiss falls from grace, spurred by head-scratching musical decisions and rampant drug abuse among certain members. With their career prospects vanishing before their eyes, the Showbiz Kings pulled one final Hail Mary in '83, removing the signature makeup for that year's Lick It Up. The gambit paid off, and the album reinvented Kiss in the image of up-and-coming glam metal bands who had drawn influence from them in the first place. Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons weathered many storms over the next decade, fighting tooth and nail to stay on top of the hard rock heap, with hits like Heaven's on Fire, Tears Are Falling, and Forever. Of course, they reapplied the face paint in 1996 for a massive reunion tour because when opportunity comes knocking, Kiss comes rocking. Scorpions. Scorpions formed in 1965 and released their first album in 72, but the German rockers didn't become globally commodity until the 1980s. The band's early releases featuring a progressive psychedelic sound, which they gradually whittled to a razor-sharp point. 1979's Love Drive marked the beginning of Scorpions' classic sound, which they perfected to the tune of platinum and multi-platinum sales in 1982's Blackout. ZZ Top. ZZ Top's transformation from down and dirty Texas blues trio to sleek MTV stars is one of the most successful and unlikely in rock history. The reinvention was twofold. Guitarist Billy Gibbons and bassist Dusty Hill both emerged from a 2-year hiatus in 1979 with chest-length beards, which would become their visual trademark for decades to come. And on 1983's diamond-selling Eliminator, they embraced synthesizers, drum machines to a craft dance floor ready anthems, Give Me All Your Lovin', Sharp Dressed Man, and Legs, which became massive hits and MTV staples. And there you go. There's been a bunch more that reinvented and made it, and they reinvented. Kiss is the one that really comes to mind. I mean, they went from makeup to non-makeup. Well, they went to makeup, and then it kind of went to disco-ish, and then they went to non-makeup. Then they got heavier non-makeup, which was some of their best music, really. And then back to the makeup again, and yeah, it worked for them. Not many people could pull that off. All I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like this video. Appreciate it. You guys have a great day. God bless you. I'm praying for you.